What did I tell you about coming up in my classroom? You thought I was going to say something else. And not having your goddamn homework done.
I said get out!
This is kind of fierce. Happy days, my name is Daisy Maize, and welcome back to Booning and Baining. Yes, this is my YouTube series on my YouTube channel where I, your hostess, who is me, take a seemingly irrelevant topic and absolutely dissect it within an inch of its life in a way that it did not ask for, does not deserve, and is just going to have to learn to live with, because we've all got to learn to live with our lot in life here, okay? That's coming from me, so look inward. Anyway, today is going to have to be a little bit of a rushed episode because I am sprinting out the door to go celebrate one of my bestest drag friends, Seymour Cox's birthday. That's right, that is her name. It is magnificent, and I love her, and she is the hostess and creator of Drag Wars here in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Well, not here in Asbury Park, New Jersey, but there in Asbury Park, New Jersey, where I'm about to go. And it is her very special birthday, so the show is being hosted by Elixir, who I can't wait to do bingo with later this month, which will have passed by the time this video is out. But what might not have passed is the fact that Elixir and I are also going to be hosting the lip sync competition at Brookdale Community College at the Performing Arts Center. But yes, Seymour has been a wonderful mentor to me. She's taught me a lot about drag. She is the only person I would be comfortable saying is my drag mother, besides Trixie Mattel and Katya Zamolotchkova. And those latter two aren't probably answering, so I would consider Seymour to be at least one of my many drag mothers. Takes a village. And it took a village. But while on the subject of mentorship, I think it's time to get right into our subject of the day, teachers. Yes, that's right. Today we are talking about teachers. You can see I have worn my very cool first grade art teacher garb today. I found this at the Goodwill in Laramie, Wyoming, and I never looked back. Well, I mean, I looked back and I said I'm going to buy that, and then I did. Then I looked back to my car where I brought it. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm really glad I brought it back home with me. I guess I looked back a lot, actually. I love this. And this is one of those outfits that I just think is fun, but that doesn't have a whole lot of opportunities to be worn as far as photo shoots, performances, pride events. You know, it's one of those that's like kind of, I just have to wear it whenever I can, and so I am. It's got a slit up either side of the dress, too, so I'm like, what kind of hoe was this teacher? I love her. I am her. So teachers, speaking of which, tethering it back to the subject material, it's very, very unusual for me. Teachers are awesome. I actually just had a run-in, which makes it sound violent, and it was. She kicked the shit out of me. I loved it. Funny I mentioned art teachers because I had a run-in with one of my previous art teachers from high school not long ago. She came into my job and we just had a wonderful time talking for like an hour. As you know, I was getting ready to close up, but I didn't mind just hanging out with her. She's very cool. Mrs. Kendrick, love you. Didn't recognize her at first because she changed her hair color, and it's the effect that teachers have on kids cannot be understated. Because as soon as she mentioned why I would know her, suddenly every memory came flooding back, everything clicked back into place. It was wonderful. It was so great talking to her. I think we're going to use that as a segue to get into boon number one. Teachers have such power to shape young minds. It's such a cliche. It's such a stereotype, I know. But like, it's cliche and stereotypical for a reason. Teachers really have the power to make us the best people that we can possibly be because they lead by example. This teacher always taught me to think outside the box. She was an art teacher, so she was like, I can't give midterms and finals where there's like an objectively correct answer because it's art. It's subjective by nature. So we had to do like still lifes and shit, and it was great, and it's some of my favorite memories of high school. It's some of my only memories of high school. I wasn't a drinker. I was just forgetful. Am forgetful. Who are you? What was I talking about? I don't know. But here's a completely unrelated segue to Bane number one. Teachers have the power to shape young minds. And I am immediately thinking of some of the worst fucking teachers I've ever had, some of the worst professors I've ever had. In college, I'm going to tell you a brief story. In college, I had an environmental science class, and I like environmental science. I think it's interesting. I'm not good at it by any means. It's one of those subjects where I find it interesting, and I will never pursue a career in it because you don't want me responsible for anything in it. I should not have any power in that field or any responsibility whatsoever. So I wasn't very, very good at the class. I actually had to take it twice. It had a lab component and it had a lecture component. My lecture professor, he had us do a book report, already not science, so great start. That's English, thanks, which is one of my stronger subjects. So I was like, okay, fine, I can do this. He had us do a book report on the fucking Lorax. On the fucking Lorax. Oh, no. And that's not where the story ends. That's just where it gets started. That's the setup, baby. That's the premise, baby doll. It gets worse because I hand mine in, right? And I think I'm going to do great because I love the Lorax. I love books. I love writing. I am a writer. I have a creative writing associate's degree. I love English and I love books. So this is a perfect fit, right? He was going to fail me because he thought I had plagiarized my work from somewhere on the internet. Now, mind you, there are engines that can check to see if your work exists somewhere on the internet so that teachers can check to see if you're plagiarizing. He did not do that. It seemed too high of a caliber, too quality of writing. Those are not the exact words, but the premise, the general vibe. My work was too good for me to have written it. I guess I'll just go fuck myself, huh? I think I got enough time in the rest of the class to go into the back corner, grab one of those fucking rods of crystal or whatever the fuck, and shove it right up my ass and fuck myself. What? What? Yeah, so just on a whim, he guessed that I couldn't possibly have written this. Now, mind you, he hadn't had us do writing assignments beforehand. He had no frame of reference for what my writing was. He didn't know if I was a good writer or not. And I am a good writer. So, fuck you, first of all. Second of all, he just guessed. So, I, being the little shit that I am, and also well within my rights, sent him examples of my work from my several writing classes. My creative writing class, my poetry class, my English class, like all of it. All of it. And he got them and he was like, kind of half apologized and was like, hey, these are good. You should pursue a career in writing. No fucking shit, Watson. You're not even Sherlock. You're Watson. You'll always be Watson. And not even one of the good Watsons. I hope you're watching this so that I can tell you that you are the worst. So teachers really do have the power to just ruin our fucking day. I should have sent him fan fiction. I should have sent him some of my raunchy ass, nasty fucking fan fiction. All right? I hated him. I hated that class. Anyway, I loved environmental science in high school. It was fun there. I had a good teacher. Mr. Myro, love you. Mwah, you were fantastic. If anybody at Wall High School in Wall Township, New Jersey has Mr. Myro for your science professor, he's just the fucking best. If he's not there anymore, I'm rioting. Food number 2 is that teachers really, I mean, I can shit on individual cases as much as I want, but teachers, by and large, they are doing God's work. They're doing the Lord's work, okay? They are saints. I got a lot of evangelical allegories here, apparently, to talk about people who teach knowledge and not just vibes. But, you know, in any case, teachers really are, they're doing such an important job, such a thankless job, and a job that most of us remember them negatively for. I mean, there are definitely cases where you have wonderful teachers. My art teacher, my high school environmental science professor. There are lots of instances where I personally have wonderful memories of teachers, but teachers still, even the ones that make good memories, they go ungratified. They go on through life in thankless jobs. Hell, I didn't recognize my art teacher right off the bat. She had to explain her identity to me, and that must have just felt like, I fucking spent 4 years teaching this kid how to paint just so that he could fucking forget me? What an asshole. And I am an asshole. Forgive me, but I have used those painting skills, so thank you. I'm not saying I applied them well, I'm just saying that I did them. Now, bane number 2 is still in favor of teachers. Bane number 2 is that teachers are, it's a thankless job. Teachers are underfunded. Teachers don't have respect. Teachers get shit on by the parents of the kids they teach. Teachers just get a shit lot. It's really not fair. It's really not fair that we as a society still don't have the respect for teachers enough to pay them well. Teachers should make the same amount as doctors. Change my mind. Change my mind, whore. Change my mind. Oh, the doctor performed a life-saving surgery? Great. The teacher will teach that child, when they are a child in their formative years, how to avoid making that mistake that brought them into the surgery room in the first place. Okay? Surgery room, emergency room, OS, OR, operating room, OZ, Oz. He's on down the road. Walk on now, he's on down the road. My brain is soft porridge, sloshing around in my lovely little head, covered in clown paint, marinated in glitter. I've had a lot of caffeine today, and it's not gonna be enough to save me. But you know what might be enough to save me is boon number 3. I'm tying it all back, bitch. Boon number 3 is that somehow, by some miracle, people continue to go to school to become teachers. I'm so glad. I don't know why. It's not for financial reasons. It's not for the great benefits. It's not for the delight of being around children all day. Certainly not any of those. My friend Patrick, who played Dennis opposite Milani when we did Rock of Ages not long ago, he's a middle school principal. It's not for the reward of being around middle schoolers, but it is because these individuals have shouldered the responsibility of shaping the next generation, of trying to help build a world in which younger generations can become confident, competent older generations and put good into the universe. It really is that simple. Knowledge is the power to enact change, and teachers are the ones who present that power and pass it on to the next generation, and I love that. And boon number 3 is that it still can only do so much. Teachers are underpaid, schools are understaffed. The world is much more interested in having stupid consumers than they are having smarty pants free thinkers. So naturally, where do you nip that in the bud? At the source. You make it miserable to be a teacher. You enact all sorts of laws and begin regulating the curriculum to such an extent that nobody can ever really learn anything other than how to do what my conservative human resources manager refers to as woke math. The only people I ever hear use the term woke are the conservatives. I don't think I've ever heard it used to refer to the left by the left. Where'd that come from? It's just like a slur now. I don't know. It's not a slur. It's not that bad. Point is, it is routinely just becoming more and more difficult for people to be teachers and stay teachers and teach. The world is making it very difficult for them to just do their jobs. Now they want to give teachers guns? Girl, why? I'm not dying for your kid. Your kid shouldn't be at the risk of dying from a shooting at all. You know what? That's another, I'm going to pin that on to bay number 3. We're just going to throw that in there. School shootings. It is now genuinely dangerous to be a teacher. Please let that sink in and consider it. How the fuck did we get there? Anyway, I've got to get going and I'm already pushing my luck. So overall, teachers are undoubtedly a boon. The situations that they are routinely put through is a bane, obviously. Many banes, several banes, hindering their ability to do good work. The teachers, by and large, are a boon. Even the worst teacher is still trying to do something noble, and I will never forget that, and I will always respect them for that. Even if they accuse me of plagiarism without a shred of fucking proof, you bitch. Anyway, I think it's about time we wind down from there, if that's alright with you. This is my new look, I think. This is what I'm going to do at the photo shoot this Saturday. Perfect. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about teachers, and I'm running late. And this took longer to film than the last one, so oops. If you liked this video, then please, by all means, like this video. Leave a comment telling me what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. I'll only read the positive ones, but hey, you don't have to know that. Although I will delete your comment if you make me upset. And also, if you like making me upset, or you love to see me not upset, or you think it's entertaining either way, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and then hit that nifty little notification bell so that you get notified every single time I post some brand new cartoon cross-dressing clowny content. I think Cotton Candy was in there in a previous video. I want to bring that back. Some plant-based cross-dressing clowny cartoon cotton candy content. Oh, work, bitch. That's fierce. That's going to be a song lyric. You wait. It's going to be one of my song lyrics. Who knows? Anyway, once again, my name is Daisy Maize, and I am, as always, wishing you some very happy days. In the immortal words of my deadbeat father, Yekaterina Petrovna Zamolotchkova, children are the future. Teach them well, and let them rake my lawn, or whatever. I haven't forgiven you, for accusing me of plagiarism. I wrote that Lorax paper. I still have it. I'm not going to get it right now. I'm tired, and I'm running late. Goodbye.